What's going on, conservative new media viewers and boxing fans around the world? We just got done watching the second episode of 24/7 Pacquiao versus Marquez, number 4. And we're just going to recount what we saw and analyze it a little bit. Now, I just want to say that we will try to get a link for the actual episode and put that in the video description below the video player. I believe that HBO is putting the episodes up on their website, so I don't think that'll be too hard, and we'll try to do that as quickly as we can. Now, this episode started out with a little intro where they showed a kid selling sugar donuts in the Philippines, and they said that what the kids do is they'll go to the donut shops and they'll try to, they'll buy donuts and they'll try to sell them. So maybe, the kid buys them for 5 cents a donut, tries to sell them for 10 cents a donut, make a little profit. And they said that Pacquiao did that when he was a kid. So, these kids might be dreaming about one day becoming the next Manny Pacquiao. Now, we started off in Los Angeles, and we were seeing Pacquiao, the Pacquiaos, Manny and Jinky. They were involved in a prayer service. It was the day, I believe, that Manny Pacquiao was going to file for running again for Congress. And they also showed that Jinky is going to run for office, I believe, as the vice governor of Sarangani province, although I'm not sure about that. And Pacquiao was talking about how he likes being in politics. He likes to help people out. He came from poverty, and he wants to help other people that are in difficult circumstances himself. The second segment of the show was in Mexico City. They showed Juan Manuel Marquez starting his training day at 4 in the morning. I can't remember what facility they were at. It might have been the Olympic facility, Mexico City. I can't remember. They mentioned it. I just didn't get to hear it clearly. He was there with strength coach Angel Heredia, and they showed Juan Manuel doing some squats. They showed him his kids. 2 of his sons were there, and they were also working out with him as well. He was kind of showing them how to do little training sets and how to lift, etc. They mentioned that Marquez is 39 years old, but he was saying he's still driven. He still has the same drive. He likes to get up and train, and he'll know it's time to retire, he says, whenever he doesn't have that drive anymore, when he doesn't want to wake up and run, when he just doesn't want to give the energy needed to be a top-level athlete anymore. They talked with his wife and one of his sons. His wife said that, look, Juan Manuel does all this for his kids. The son said it's cool to have a dad like him who just, is doing what he's doing. They just mentioned how the family supports one another, how the family gives him the support he needs so that he can train, so that he has been able to be as successful as he has been, so that he can support them. And they showed that they were at a party for I think their daughter's friend, and they were doing the whole thing, the piñata and everything. Pretty cool. If you're from a Mexican or Mexican American family, it looked like something I'm sure you've seen before in terms of the piñata and everything. Then they went in and they were in Las Vegas, and they basically recapped the Pacquiao-Bradley fight, which was a controversial fight, or was a controversial decision. Most people, I know that we here at CNM, felt that Pacquiao easily won the fight. They were talking to different people, talking to Pacquiao, just seemed like clear one-sided victory. But it was a very shocking split decision loss for Pacquiao. And Manny said that in 21 years of being in the sport, he's never been involved in anything like that, where he felt he just had a one-sided victory and he didn't get the decision. They showed in the Philippines how upset people were. They showed Manny's mom, how she was saying that she wanted a rematch. She was upset and angry. And then Manny said, look, I thought about a rematch, but realized that I didn't need to prove anything. Just feel like the fans aren't interested in a rematch because most people know we won. But whereas there might not be anything to prove with Timothy Bradley, Manny feels like there is something to prove with Juan Manuel Marquez because of the closeness and just the mixed feelings about who has won their previous 3 fights. And look, I think that makes sense. I think that that's probably accurate, and that there is likely more for Manny Pacquiao to prove as regards Juan Manuel Marquez than there is with Timothy Bradley. Now, next we went back to Mexico City, and they showed a new house that the Marquez family has purchased. They mentioned that Juan Manuel, I guess their house got burglarized last year, so they wanted to move to a place that was more secure. Looked really nice. They showed the kids kind of checking it out and playing soccer. And Juan Manuel talked about how he came from poverty, much as Manny Pacquiao did, and didn't have very much, didn't get a lot of things a lot of other kids got, and he's happy that he could share with his kids more than what he had as a child, and also that he can show them an example of, look, if you go out and you work hard and you pursue your dreams, you can be successful just like I was. So that was pretty cool. Finally, we went back to the Philippines, and they showed a birthday party for the 6-year-old daughter of Manny and Jinky Pacquiao named Princess. And it was a big thing to do at a hotel. They played Gangnam Style, showed Pacquiao dancing to that, and everybody was dancing that, having fun. That was pretty cool. They mentioned how I guess there have been some issues in the marriage of the Pacquiaos in the past, but Jinky was saying, like, that's all behind them now. No big deal. It's all over. That Manny has changed. He's much more, he has much more time. He spends much more time with the family, spends much more time at events like this birthday party, and that she's really happy about that, and things are going well for them. And Manny said, look, I remember where I came from and how hard life was before. And again, talking about how that's why he's doing politics, so he can help people out. And then we just went to the wrap-up of the show. They talked about change, how things change in life, how things have changed for both of these fighters. And it's kind of interesting about, you really get to see how what these guys came from and where they've ended up. And they kind of ended the show about how, these guys and spending time with their families and stuff. Now it's time to get back to basics, get back to training, get back into warrior mode, basically, and get ready to fight. And, that's what's going to happen on December 8th. Just quick analyzing this episode. I like it when you get to see the kids, the families more. That builds more of an emotional connection with the fighters, which is, I'm sure, what the makers of the videos, makers of the series want to do. You have more of an emotional attachment to the fighters. I think that will work better for casual fans, people that might not know these guys and might be interested in watching them fight on December 8th because they got to see a little bit more of them. And what you also saw in this episode is just how successful and iconic both Marquez and Pacquiao have become in their homelands. Now, we know Manny Pacquiao is a global icon, but whatever status he has globally, it's, times 100 or whatever in the Philippines. I mean, everybody's heard the stories, I would imagine, that are boxing fans of how, essentially the entire Philippines shuts down when he's fighting. Like, there's almost no crime, there's no nothing, because everybody's watching him fight. And that's just amazing. So he's become almost, just beyond belief popularity in his own country. But you also get that understanding of how important and popular Juan Manuel Marquez is. He is revered in Mexico, and deservedly so, regardless of his not getting a victory yet against Pacquiao. He's had a terrific career. He seems like somebody that takes care of his money, is really a good family man, and is, I think, a great example of what hard work, dedication can get you. Again, so it's really good. I'm just good to see more of Marquez. We don't get to see as much of him as we get to see with Manny Pacquiao, being that Pacquiao's a congressman. Now, this is also, you got to see, as we talked about here, how both of these guys overcame poverty in their youth, and just how through doing what they did, working hard, training, they escaped that poverty. They became successful and now been able to provide for themselves and their families. And again, at the end of the episode, it's kind of getting back to the training and the ritual of fighting. That's who these guys are. That's how they escaped poverty. And so I think it was a good kind of closing of the circle of the episode of, these guys have achieved a lot. We get to see it. They've helped their families out. They both have good families, it looks like. But this is how they got what they got. And that's going, getting in the ring, sacrificing, working hard, and fighting. And I thought it was a good way to end the episode. So, look, I enjoyed this episode the same way I enjoyed part 1. We did a review of that as well. You can check that out if you want. I'm very much looking forward to this fight. I don't know who's going to win yet. We will be making a prediction. I'm sure of that, but going to wait a little bit of time till we see, what the guys look like, more training footage, the weigh-in footage, etc. But this should be a terrific fight, the same way that the first 3 fights were. These are 2 guys that are legends in the sport. They're both going in the Hall of Fame, I would imagine, on the first time that they're on the ballot. And you're just not going to get to see this level of rivalry very often in your lifetime. So I can't wait. And I can't wait for the next episode of the series, which will be next week. So that's the wrap up for today. Give us your comments below on this. Thumbs up, thumbs down on the video. Of course, we encourage you to come and join the Conservative New Media Facebook group. You'll find a link for that also in the video description. Over 2,000 members there and growing all the time. We'd love to have you come and join us there as well. I am Paul F. Villarreal. Thanks for watching Conservative New Media. We will talk to you again soon.